Hi, I'm Regina.
And I'm Birdie.
And I'm Birdie.
And I'm Regina.
And we're Two Kids on a Couch.
Hello guys, and welcome back to Two Kids on a Couch for our third episode of our Tony coverage. Guys, we are over halfway done.
So today we're going to talk to you guys about some of the plays that came out this season. Ones that were nominated for a few things, but not the ones that we're really excited about.
Mediocrity.
There are a lot of good plays this season, so you want to go ahead and get started?
Let's do that. Kind of one of the hot shows this season is Indecent. This was about kind of one of Broadway's earlier scandals with a playwright putting out something a bit too risque. And the show looks really pretty. It's got beautiful costumes. It's got a lot of really nice music, a lot of live music on stage. And so that's really cool. Indecent got 3 nominations for Best Play, Best Direction, and Best Lighting. I don't think it'll win Best Lighting. I think Oslo's probably going to take the lighting awards. In terms of direction, I also don't know if they'll get that because I feel like a lot of directors this year took a lot of really big chances. In terms of Best Play, it's got a shot. I don't know that it will win, but I think it definitely has enough of a following and people have responded well enough to it and the critics like it and the audiences like it. I think it could take Best Play. August
Wilson's Jitney. This is a revival, even though it's kind of its first time on Broadway. It looks like a really good production. It looks like a solid cast. Really nice design. I love the set. The set looked really beautiful. It's also nominated for lighting and costumes. From the pictures I've seen, there's nothing that extraordinary there. The only actor who was nominated was John Douglas Thompson. That's for featured actor in a play. From what I've read, he's the closest thing the show has to a lead, but it's such an ensemble piece that's so much getting a glimpse into all these different people's lives that that there really is no one leading actor. He did a very good job. I wouldn't be surprised if he won. And I think it's got a shot at Best Revival, certainly.
Probably.
I don't really understand a lot of it. I'm not the target audience, but it's got good direction. It tells a really good story. It has some really well fleshed out characters. So I expect it'll do pretty well this Tony season.
Another show that opened this season is Arthur Miller's The Price with Tony Shalhoub, Mark Ruffalo, and Danny DeVito. The show is a bit odd. It's the closest thing Arthur Miller has ever written to a comedy, but it's Arthur Miller, so like, that's a low bar. The show looks good. It's about brothers dealing with an estate. Danny DeVito comes in as the plucky Russian dealer in furniture and antiques. And he seems pretty funny. He was the only one nominated in the show for Best Featured Actor. They said he's like supposed to be Russian, and Danny DeVito tried, but he didn't make it, but it's okay, because he's Danny DeVito. And he eats an egg, and it's a good time had by all. Danny DeVito might win because it's featured actor, and typically comedic actors are more likely to take home those Tonys.
A better shot than the others, at least.
It's a better shot than the others. So we'll see. He seems to do very well. People like the show, which...
Well, and this is his Broadway debut, right?
It is, yeah.
So yeah, good for him. Doing such a bang-up job. Another one of the revivals for this season was The Front Page, written by Ben Hecht and Charles MacArthur. It's a really fun show. It's a huge show. There's like 24 cast members. It's set in a newspaper office editorial, something or other. So it's super fast. It's got a stacked cast. It's got Nathan Lane,
Jefferson Mays,
John Slattery,
Sherry Renee Scott,
Robert Morris,
and John Goodman.
So like, super talented people.
Such talent.
Nathan Lane was one who was nominated, which, I mean, can't say I'm surprised. Nathan Lane is kind of the best. A little bit surprised that didn't get more acting nominations. But no, really funny show. It's got nominated for set as well. It has a really pretty set. Like I said, it's a big, kind of elaborate newspaper office. I don't know that it'll win. I don't know that Nathan Lane will win. I think he's got a good shot. Like we said, comedic actors have a pretty good shot at a Best Featured Actor. And the set's really nice. A lot of times, shows that are nominated for just their design don't tend to do as well as shows that are nominated for a whole bunch. Like a lot of times, the winner of Best Show takes a lot of the design awards as well.
Yeah, because design goes into the show. And
right,
if it's the best, then it's the best. Right.
So it's likely that it might not win set almost because of that, but I'd be happy if it did.
The next show we have to talk about is The Glass Menagerie. Now, we got a revival of Glass Menagerie not too long ago.
Yeah, just a couple years back.
So I'm wondering if that's played into the fact that this one didn't get a lot of nominations.
Yeah.
Sally Field is in it. She's the show's only nomination. She got Best Leading Actress, which I think is probably deserved. Sally Field is generally pretty good at what she does.
Yeah, I heard she's very good in the show.
The production itself was a bit odd. It was very stripped down. It was kind of modernized a little bit. The set was pretty bare bones and everything, which that's something that Sam Gold does well. I think he directed it. Reviews weren't great. People didn't love the show. Maybe it came too soon after Last Glass Menagerie. Maybe it's just not a story people need to hear right now. I don't know. Something interesting that they did do is that the actress playing Laura was physically handicapped and she was in a wheelchair. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's typically Laura has a limp or something. But this time the actress was fully in it, and she was in the wheelchair, and they had to do the blocking around that. And that I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A cool step, kind of bringing that diversity on Broadway in at least tiny bits and pieces, which is always a good time. In terms of Sally Field's nomination, I would be surprised if she won. I've heard that this wasn't her best work, and because the show sort of faltered a little bit and it just wasn't a strong production in general, I think it'll probably go to a different nominee.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Another one of the rivals this season was 6 Degrees of Separation. This is a really fun show. It's a really great star vehicle for the leading guy. Corey Hawkins did it in this case. He really gets to tell a lot of stories and play a pretty layered role. Not to give too much away, but he's more than meets the eye. It's a really solid show. It got nominated for Corey and for Best Revival. There's only 2 nominations. Yeah, I heard Corey did a really stellar job, and he's got a shot. I'd be surprised if the show won for Best Revival. Of some of the other shows that were nominated, it seems less, I hate to say it, almost less important, less topical.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think it deserved its 2 nominations. May not win either, but I think Corey's got a better shot than the show in general.
Another show that opened this season was Little Foxes. The show focuses around 2 sisters, Regina and Birdie, and typically, you know, you have one actor playing Regina and one actor playing Birdie. But in this case, the 2 actresses they have playing them switch every night. So whenever you go to see it, it's always a different cast. The show did pretty well. It got 6 nominations for Best Revival, Best Leading Actress for Cynthia Nixon, Best Leading Actress for Laura Linney, Best Direction, and Best Supporting Actor for Richard Thomas. I would love to see one or both of the ladies win. I think it's got a shot at Best Revival. I think they did enough with it and they changed enough with it. It's a pretty solid piece. As for our friend Richard Thomas, who's to say?
Who's to say?
Like, hopes aren't high. He isn't Danny DeVito, or Nathan Lane, or our buddy John Douglas, so Richard, this might not be your year.
One of my favorite shows to open this season was The Play That Goes Wrong. It is such a funny show. It's very much in the style like Noise Is Off or something like that if you've seen it. It's very farcical. It's just a good time. It was only nominated for Best Scenic Design, and while I think it probably should win, I don't know that it will. I do hope it wins set, but I mostly just hope that it keeps running for a long time and then they release the rights so that everyone can do the show, because it just looks like a whole bunch of fun.
The last one that we're going to talk about today is The Present. This is one of Anton Chekhov's plays. The show definitely has its moments. There's a party scene that's supposed to be like just effervescent and so much energy and light and fun. But then, you know, the second scene happens and the other 2 hours and 54 minutes of the show happen. Cate Blanchett is in it and she does a very good job.
I believe it.
Because she's Cate Blanchett. She is the show's only nomination for Best Leading Actress. And they say she's definitely the reason to see the show and she definitely carries the show. The downside is the character she plays is not one that's really suited for carrying a show, so it's a rough time. Cate Blanchett, I think, probably has a shot at leading actress. I don't know that she'll win, but I don't think anyone would be upset if she did.
Well, there you have it. That's some of the plays for this Tony Awards season. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to finish up the Tony coverage, talking about the ones we're really excited about, plays and musicals, that we can't wait to see take home all the awards.
Thank you guys so much for your response in our hashtag Get Off the Couch contest. We cannot wait to share with you our final episode that's coming out in a few weeks with our special guest star. And as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on all the things. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau?
Walter Matthau was in the
Walter
movie.
Matthau?
Back in the day. He played Nathan Lane's character.
Walter Matthau?
Walter Matthau.
Walter Matthau!
Yeah. So, yeah, go watch the movie. I've seen clips. It's pretty funny.
It's got Walter Matthau.
You really excited about
Walter Matthau, wow!
Wow, okay.